Welcome to the Taj Mahal of local sports with my main man. Man, there's so many titles for this guy. Where do I start? Head athletic director at St. Mary's Ryken, head boys basketball coach at St. Mary's Ryken, and lastly but most important, just a great guy, Dave Tallman.
Nice
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
He's watched all my shows, but it's first time in studio. So what do you think, man?
It looks great.
You like it?
I know I look better than Chris Harney. Doing all right so far.
Shout out to Coach Harney. I'm sure he's watching. So, Coach, break down the season you guys had. I mean, it was a terrific season. We were talking a little bit off camera. It's almost a tale of two seasons in a way. Break it all down for the viewers at home.
Yeah, we actually tied a school record for wins this year with 18. So, we doubled our win total from a year before. Our guys really committed themselves in the off season. And I give a lot of credit to our four seniors. I think they really just were kind of sick of losing and wanted to change the culture. And, they were able to do that. So we had a good, out-of-conference, schedule this year. We were 9-1 in the out-of-conference, in conference in the WCAC. We had a big win at Gonzaga. We played some of the national powers very, very tight. Didn't get over the hump, but played St. John's, who was #1 in the Met, to 1 point, and lost to DeMatha 3 times by a total of 11 points, which hopefully we can sneak up and get them next year. And then once the WCAC season was over, we went into the Maryland State playoffs. This was the first year they had a state tournament for the private schools, and our guys did a fantastic job. We actually finished in the Final Four, so we were very proud and finished the year on a good note.
What's something you can take from this season, because you mentioned kind of getting over the hump of some of the big dogs, so to speak. Yeah. What's something you can gather from this season that will help sort of get Ryken to that level, in the future? Yeah,
like I said, the four seniors, I think, did an excellent job. Their mentality this year was terrific. Since we lost last Saturday, our underclassmen have been in the gym every day. Sunday they called us up, and I was ready for a day off, but they called us up and they were in the gym. So I think that the underclassmen have learned, what it takes from the upperclassmen. And we'll add a few pieces, and we're hoping to have a great season next year.
All right, now we're talking about the ballers. So I got to ask, I noticed in doing my research about y'all this season that multiple all-conference players on the boys and the girls team.
Right.
Just speak on that and how proud I know that the school must be as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, the winter season was excellent. Chris Sandberg on the girls' side has done a great job. They had no seniors, so they got a lot of talent coming back, and that's going to be an exciting ride for them. Our guys, Jaron Hilson was first team all WCAC. He's getting a lot of Division I interest right now. We're trying to figure out where he's going to go. Davis Mgulis, our 6'6" sharpshooter junior, he's already been offered by Penn State. So, and Dante Etheridge was our leading scorer with 16 a game. So he's got a lot of Division I interest. So, it's been a fun ride, and it's definitely the place to be. Also, I got to throw a shout out to our wrestling team as well. Josh Lopez and Steven Simpson were All-Americans and won the WCAC, as individuals. So the winter season was a good one for St. Mary's Ryken.
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you a basketball question. One thing, it's funny you mentioned Coach Harney, because I posed this question to him, and also we had Coach Alan Hoyt in studio last week from CSM.
Right.
And I asked the question of, with basketball nowadays, you see pretty much all face-up game as far as your big man transition. What happened to the back-to-the-basket big man? Now, you guys have a real tall guy in Nick Fillard, but even he's more of a transitional kind of face-up big man.
Right.
Is the art of the post and back-to-the-basket basketball an endangered species, or is it extinct?
They're few and far between. We would love to have one. They're hard to find, even in the college game. There's not too many left. Even if you go to the NBA, I mean, I know in the All-Star game, it used to be they would start a center automatically. I think they went away from that. So it's tough. I mean, Nick for us was 6'10", but he was more of a face-up guy, and I think it's just kind of a mentality that, when kids are growing up, they want to shoot the 3-ball, and so that's kind of a lost art, but we'd love to have one if there's any out there for sure, because it would be a weapon that everybody could use.
It's got to be a generational thing, because I know growing up for me, Pat Ewing and Olajuwon and Shaq and David Robinson, and now everyone wants to be LeBron, I guess. But,
right, absolutely.
Let's switch gears now to the spring. Even though it's March, we get teased with cold weather, nice weather one day, then it rains and it snows. Eventually, we'll be in full swing of spring sports. So with you being the head athletic director, who better than to give us an outlook of the upcoming spring season overall for Ryken?
Yeah, we're excited. If you could bring us good weather, that'd be great. But you know, our softball team, they finished in the WCAC finals last year, runner-up. Maddie Ogdenball's coming back as our starting pitcher. She's a sophomore. She's terrific, and
I covered her in volleyball too. She's a good volleyball.
Yes, she did. Yeah, and Megan Elliott, you know, is our associate head coach for softball. She's with Jim Sewell, and Megan was, you know, an all-world athlete. So having her training Maddie is a killer combination. On the baseball side, you know, we got Doug Creek, who pitched in the big leagues 9 years, so he's really building that program. He's very, very excited. They got a lot of young talent on that end, and then, you know, boys and girls lacrosse, you know, John Southern is a legend, and he always has them rolling, so that'll be exciting. And our girls lacrosse team is much improved, so they're looking to have a good year. And then we also, you know, we have multiple sports, so we have sailing, which is, I know you've learned a little bit about this year.
Yeah,
and
very little, but a little bit being the key term there, Coach.
And we got our boys tennis team and the track and field team as well. So it's been exciting, and we're just hoping for good weather.
Dave Tallman, how in the world do you do head athletic director, head coach basketball, father, husband? I mean, you juggle so many things. How are you able to do this? Are you burnt out yet, Coach?
No, I don't get burnt out. You know, I grew up in a household. I was a coach's son, so that's kind of the way I grew up, and was always involved with sports. My dad coached multiple sports, and I got a great wife, you know, that puts up with me. So it's been good, and the support of the school is excellent. And my assistant athletic director, Chris Perkinson, I couldn't say enough about what he does, you know, for us, especially in the winter time when I'm coaching. He pretty much runs the show for me. So it's been a good thing. Ryken's a good place.
You need to teach a class on how to do that, because I'm already burned out, and I don't do half of what you do, Coach. Well, thank you for watching Southern Maryland Sports Journal with me, Travis Thomas, and Dave Tallman, exclusively on MetroCast Channel 10.
Changing times brings changing needs. That's why, for your convenience, Booth's Heating and Air have extended their service hours to 10 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, at regular service rates. Through rigorous training classes and courteous business practices, Booth's technicians always go above and beyond to provide you with award-winning customer service that you can trust. Booth's Heating and Air, serving the Southern Maryland area since 1993.